Lionel trains. Today, we're making our own posts. All my stuff is done by hand, handcrafting. You'll see different things in the layout. I cut all my own boards down and everything. So, if you have a radius arm saw like I do, I'll show you how to set it up. I'll also cut a few by hand. Takes a little bit longer, but it's definitely doable with an easy setup. So we'll go ahead and we'll jump right in. There we go. So I use these rail and posts for decks. Yeah, they're pressure treated, but you can buy them for 50 cents a pop. So I have a stop here on the end at 5 inches. Now why I cut them at 5 inches, because I'm going to put feet on them, give me the 5 1/4 that I would normally have. If you are not putting the 5 1/4 post feet on like I do, make sure you don't have to put a foot underneath the A trestle for your graduated trestle set, because you have to raise that because that trestle, the A, is 5 inches tall, and then you have to raise it up to 5 1/4. So you don't have to put that on, as you see in my layout in my videos. I'm not sure if I did a video on that, but I put feet underneath the B and the A to give it that height to get up to the 5 1/4. So yeah, with a radius arm saw, it's very easy. You just put up a post, you mark it at your 5 inches mark, and you just go for it. And that's the leftover piece that is just too small. We throw over there. We'll use on another project. Maybe I'll put it on the lathe and make something out of it, maybe a snowman or something. I do a lot of different woodworking projects with this layout. So next I'll show you is how to cut them by hand and how to do it safely. So if you don't have a radius arm saw like I do, you can pick them up on any sale website pretty cheap. They're like Let Go or Craigslist, $100, and you have yourself a radius arm saw, and they're great for any project. So a little on that. If you don't have that opportunity, you probably have a hand saw, definitely. I have a couple different hand saws. But the one I'm going to use today is something my pop-up gave me. It's a really old, really rusted saw, but it's the best hand saw in my shop. So you're just going to take get yourself a piece of wood that is pretty square. I always go with a square piece. You can use 2x4s. I always cut them in half and square them up. But any piece of wood. I like this stuff for my layout. You take your tape measure, measure 5 inches. Set it up. Grab yourself a clamp. Always clamps on hand, anytime. Always, always, always. Now, I've been doing construction a long time. Wow, this thing's a lot bigger than I remember. Ooh. See, that's what you don't want. If it's all moving around, that clamp's not working. You're going to need to find something else. So I reamped it with a vice clamp. She still has a little bit of wiggle to her. Might have to add another one, but I'm sure with there we go. So even with an old saw, it takes a little bit of time, but you can do it the old way. I am still not liking that setup. No. Ugh. No, sir. So, of course, you won't have a backrest like this in your workbench. Well, maybe you do. But anyway, that's the way you do it. I prefer raised arm saw, safer. You don't have to do all this extra stuff. But if you don't have it, you can still do it that way. Just a regular handsaw and a clamp or two will definitely be good. Alright guys, so that's how you make these posts. Once again, as you can see here, here's my post at 5 inches. Oh, look at that. Just like that. Now we're getting somewhere with posts. So we're gonna move to making the feet now. So let me get set up. Alright, so get yourself a nice piece of plywood. I like using the 1/4 inch stuff from your cut blade, which could be a circular saw or raised arm saw, 2 inches from the blade. That way you have your 1 inch post. So you have your 1 inch post, and then you have a 1/2 inch on each side to put a screw through, and that way the posts aren't too big. If you want to go to 3, so set it up with your raised arm saw. I set everything up on my piece because I cut these things all the time. All the time. I do it for my friends that run the trains, doing all these posts. I sell them. They'll probably wind up on my Etsy site if you just want to buy them, but they're so easy to make. So I'm going to do a 3 inch, so I have 1 inch on each side. You can do the 2 inch if you have a limited amount of plywood. So I have a piece that looks like that. Once again, I'll put a mark. There's my post, there's my piece. You put them on. Now you put 2 screws in them. You don't have to hold them underneath, and I'll work them that way. This is the way I do my posts. This is the way I do my second levels. I use them for 3rds, 4th, 5th, 6th. This is the way I do it. So guys, I want to thank you for watching. I want you guys, if you have any questions, comments, leave them in the description below. If you haven't subscribed, hit subscribe. This is going to get interesting over the next 3 months. I'm going to have it all done, and then we're going to get into another layout. I don't know if it'll be right away. I don't know if it'll be next year, but definitely. So hit subscribe, like I said, comment, and share. Put it on Facebook. Put it on, wherever you want to get out there. So, thanks, and I will talk to you guys next time. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.